The most common piece of advice that teachers tend to give their students on how to practice is repeat, repeat, repeat until you can't get it wrong. But actually, this advice can make your practice incredibly ineffective, and here's why. So let's say you're practicing a particular passage, and the first time you play through it, your wrist is a little bit low, and then let's say the second time you play through that passage, your wrist is a little bit higher. And let's say the third time you practice through that passage, your wrist is in a nice neutral position, but your elbow is out to the side. What this means is that each time you're practicing, you're not contributing to a consistent, dependable muscle memory, because each time your muscles are moving in a slightly different way, you might be using a muscle one time that you're not using the other times, and your arm is actually in a completely different position, which means the bones are in a different position, which means, again, your muscles are moving in a completely unique way. So essentially what you're doing is you're destroying any kind of muscle memory that you may have built beforehand, because you have all these different versions of practicing that particular passage. Think about it like this. Let's say you're going to bake a cake, and each time you use a different amount of flour, or you use a different amount of sugar, or maybe you don't measure the leavening agent. What that means is every time you taste the cake, it's going to have a different taste, it's going to have a different consistency or texture, so the results are not going to be guaranteed. The only way the results are going to be guaranteed is if you precisely measure every single ingredient and follow an exact procedure. It's the same thing when we practice. If we make sure when we practice through a passage that our arm moves in exactly the same way, our elbow is in the same position every single time we play that one note, our fingers move in the same way, our muscles are moving in exactly the same way, we're almost choreographing our movements precisely like a dancer might do. And what this does is it means that we're contributing to a consistent, reliable muscle memory that we can depend on when we go to a lesson, we play for a teacher, or we play a performance, or we're just trying to record something. And this is why just simply repeating something over and over and over again can actually lead to very ineffective practice.